So, Squid Game Season 2 got announced, huh? Well, it was extremely obvious that it was coming based on the ending, but still, this makes for a good time to talk about this. So, summer 2022. It was a pretty decent season of anime, I'd say. We had a lot of sequels, some good, some not so much. And then we had some good shows like Licorice Recoil, Summertime Rendering, Call of the Night, and you can't forget that one isekai about fucking slaves. Because yeah, of course we have that. But this video isn't about any of those shows. Tomodachi Game, it sure was a show. In all honesty, it was kinda mid, but it did introduce me to something way better, and that is the Tomodachi Game manga, which is what this video is really about. I don't know why I had to introduce it in the most convoluted way possible, but hey, it is what it is. Now to the uninformed, Tomodachi Game is one of those death game mangas, which is nothing new, and if you watch the anime, it's really nothing all too special. But reading the manga, you find one of the most intense, well-written and honestly fucking crazy death game stories I've ever read, and it actually has an interesting message to give. Basically, it's everything Squid Game wanted to be. Let me explain. So I think everyone has seen Squid Game by now, but in case you haven't, let me run through it real quick. So Squid Game was a huge Netflix hit last year, and basically it was about people playing this death game in which they have a chance to win a lot of shmonies, and each game is designed with the theme of games that kids play. And honestly, the whole set of the show is designed with a kind of playful and colorful atmosphere that contrasts with how violent everything is, which is why children love it. There's games like Red Light, Green Light, Tug of War, or just playing with marbles. I'm personally not a fan of Squid Game, which will become very obvious later, but for now, this is all you need to know about it. Now, Tomodachi Game. So right off the bat, Tomodachi Game starts with this page where there's two characters speaking in a hospital room. A woman who's laying in the hospital room and then a kid who's sitting next to her, counting money.
Yuichi, are you counting money again?
I have no choice. I have to live for 2 weeks with just this much.
True, money is important, but you know, in this world, there's something more important than money.
What is it?
It's friends.
And with that, the manga immediately starts off with an important statement. Friends are more important than money. I think most people reading this would go, well, duh, money isn't living and breathing, of course your friends are more important. But Tomodachi Game makes use of that for its main conflict. We'll get there soon. The manga now introduces the main character of the story, and that is the child who was counting money, but now he's a lot more grown up. It also introduces his friends, Sawaragi, Shibe, Tenji, and Yotari. They're really close friends, and you can tell this from a glance, but something happens. The class's school trip fees were stolen by someone in their class, and the ones who were responsible for the money in the first place are two of Yuichi's friends, Sawaragi and Shibe. After getting home, Yuichi finds a letter written by Sawaragi saying that she has something to tell him and that she's waiting in front of the school gate. Yuichi gets there and he's greeted by all his friends saying that they all got notes from him saying to come to the school gate. Something fishy is going on.
Yuichi, behind you!
What are you doing to my friends? They wake up in a white tiled room and are greeted by this weird mascot looking guy. His name is Manabu, and apparently he's the main character from some children's anime that got cancelled for being too explicit. He says that they're gonna play a game in which they can win 200 million yen and instantly get rid of their 200 million yen debt.
Hey, what do you mean 200 million?
Got that goody gun, seems like you don't get it. Then what if I tell you it's the debt of someone among the four of them? How the hell would these kids have that much in debt? Manabu also reveals that someone in their group chose to play this game and paid an entrance fee of 20 million yen. Yes, the exact amount that was stolen from the class, so someone among Yuichi's friends stole the money. Now, Manabu gives them a choice, to play or not to play. You'd think the obvious choice is not to play, but then the person who has the debt has to shoulder it all by themselves. Meanwhile, if they win, they'll help their friend get rid of their debt. So what will it be? Money or friends? Not so easy anymore, is it? This is what Tomodachi Game is setting out to say. You can say all these morally superior lines like, my friends are more important than money, or yeah, I'd die for you. But when it really comes down to it, can you really keep the same attitude? This is the first thing that Tomodachi Game does better than Squid Game. Tomodachi Game uses such a fucked up concept like a death game to really relay their message, and Squid Game tries to do this as well. The creator of the actual Squid Game in like the Squid Game universe has the mindset of people are trash, and they use the Squid Game as a form of entertainment because it proves their point for them. The people in Squid Game are there because they chose to be there. They are willing to kill other people for money. They are trash. And the creator honestly does a great job proving this. Meanwhile, the main character believes that there are good people too, and that the Squid Game is bad and evil. But the show completely proves his point wrong. The show frames the main character's point of view as the correct one, but the entire show just proves that he's wrong. Not a single character in Squid Game is a good person, not even the main character. They're all liars, manipulators, and after the Squid Game, murderers. And why do they do all this horrible stuff? For money. Every character in Squid Game values money over the lives of other people. They are all scum. The message Squid Game wanted to send was people aren't all bad, but the message they ended up sending was the direct opposite. Characters. Most of the characters in Squid Game are incredibly boring and bland and can be summed up with, "Oh, a horrible event happened in my life and now I'm poor and desperate." Or, "I've been a fucking scumbag all my life and now I'm gonna keep being a scumbag to win money." The only character I actually liked was Kang Sabyok.
강세바이요.
I definitely said that wrong. But honestly, that's mostly because she was hot and cool and mysterious. Since she also does just fit into horrible event happened in my life and now I'm poor and desperate. Now I can't get too much into Tomodachi Game's characters without spoiling, but all of the characters have an actual in-depth reason that you slowly get to uncover as the manga goes, instead of just telling everything in one single flashback. They can show a very jarring change in characters that catches you by surprise, and then little by little they uncover the character's past, showing you why they act like that. And it's so fucking good. Another great thing with the characters in Tomodachi Game is that they play around a lot with your trust. Very early on, and I mean literally the first game, the manga plants the seed of doubt in your mind by revealing that there's a traitor among the friend group. I'm not making that Among Us joke. Don't even, no, editor, don't, stop, bad editor, bad. Among Us! And each time a person lies, you trust everyone less and less to the point where you question every character's actions, even the main character. And this makes for this amazing experience where you feel the mistrust of the characters in the manga since you yourself are feeling the same mistrust. Now last but not least, the games themselves. One of Tomodachi Game's greatest strengths is how cleverly the games play out, and the fucking unending amount of twists. It could be a game as simple as hide and seek, and yet the result of the game can still have your jaw all the fucking way to the ground. Yuichi is such a great character because to him nothing is off the table. Yuichi is, as everyone calls him, pure evil. But you don't hate him. The manga manages to make his solutions to every problem evil without making his friends or the reader hate him. The games aren't just used to be the entertaining and thrilling part of the stories, they tell you things about the characters, change their relationships with each other, and you know they also make me jump out of my chair in excitement like a fucking fish on steroids, which is the best part. Meanwhile, Squid Games. Oh my god guys, he's licking the cookie instead of cutting it. Oh my god guys, I cannot believe he's using the timer to force people to go ahead of him into their deaths. Oh my god guys, what a twist. They're so predictable, like oh my god, I would have never thought of using the fact that you're strong to force people to do things. I can't believe these characters have the intelligence of a high school bully. The most I can give them is that the tug of war strategy was really cool, but even that's just something that they lucked out on since someone on their team played a lot of tug of war. There's not really any interesting mind games or thinking on your toes, it's the most basic strategies you can think of. Tomodachi Game is everything Squid Game wanted to be, and honestly, even more. It succeeds it in almost every way. I'll give Squid Game the point for visuals since they had this cool vibrant color palette which was really nice to look at and almost made the death of these hundreds of people seem like a harmless and fun game, which worked well from when Mr. Beast had to make a video copying it, I guess. So in conclusion, read Tomodachi Game. It's really good. And if you don't want to do that, I guess you can go watch the Mr. Beast Squid Game. It's probably better made than Squid Game anyway.
Mr.